Hello there, you yacht possums. How are ya? Before we get going, I'm going to go once again ask you to please subscribe to the channel. If we can get to 35,000 subscribers this season, we will do something embarrassing and silly on the channel. Hashtag Embarrass Harris. Take a moment. All you have to do is click the little bell and you will be subscribed, and we will be that much closer to clowning on me. And hi there. I'm Chris. You may know me from such podcasts as the 5-day-a-week Harris Football Podcast that I do. Hi. And we're here to talk about Week 8 ranks, and we're going to scroll my preliminary Week 8 ranks throughout the show. But I will encourage you to please check out harrisfootball.com. A lot of you don't do that. A lot of you are confused that I maintain ranks all week. These are not my final ranks. I promise you, if you go to Harris Football, you will see that I will update. So harrisfootball.com, check out the single position ranks there. So to some degree, we use this show as an opportunity to talk through some ranks, but also just to show you things that are cool and sometimes show you guys who you're definitely starting, but we can learn something from watching them. And that's the case with Davante Adams. Nobody's not starting Davante Adams any week that he's active, but I still want to take a look at what Adams has to offer. Adams is the number one receiver for this week, and he's a must-start every single time he's active. So slicing and dicing his film for the rank show might seem weird, but I feel like we do an awful lot of marginal players on this channel without showing you the gold standards to compare them to. You know, watch this dude, and then when we break down Rashard Higgins or whatever, then you can start understanding the differences in what we see. So first of all, let's get in the Wayback Machine, because you might remember I was real skeptical of Adams in his first couple of seasons, and that was because my man had a real hard time catching the ball. His first 2 years in the league combined, Adams was top 5, or maybe you'd say bottom 5, in drop percentage, and I wondered aloud when I was at my former employer whether the Packers would ever stick with a guy who made this many mistakes. We'll fast forward about a half decade, and Adams still has drops occasionally, but he does so much, so well. That is such a great catch last week on a 3rd and long, and it's good coverage. He's just become such a weapon. And how does he do it? Let's break down a couple of routes from Week 7. Here he's wide right. He's the X receiver. There's one safety over the top, but this is going to be a deep over route. And this is a route that beats cover 3, and as you can see, it works. Adams makes a big play, almost scores a touchdown. If we go back and watch him at the snap, watch his footwork off the line. I mean, it looks like nothing, right? It's one single step to the right foot on the outside, and then boom, over to the left, but watch the defensive back react. The poor dude goes the other way, and meanwhile, Adams' quickness in a phone booth, that first step deadly, he is gone. This is how separation happens at the beginning of a route. Let's do it again. 3rd quarter now. Adams is slot right, and there he goes. Looks like nothing. He's just past the defender. Okay, how did it happen? How does the receiver get 5 yards open, basically running in a straight line against a defensive back who presumably is pretty fast? Watch it again at the line. It's one step. This is the NBA quickness. One step and go. It's just something not a lot of receivers have right off the line, and defensive backs are helpless as a result. It's why playing press coverage against the likes of Adams and Michael Thomas can backfire in a big way, and it's what we should be looking for. Here, split wide right. If you blink, you'll miss it. This is not a jab step at all, but if we slow it down, you can see it's almost like a dribble drive hesitation. Just a little hitch, and then explode out of it. And this is what you want to see when you're watching your fantasy receiver play. Not everybody has this, but to the degree that they can get open right off the line, it really helps. Separation in a phone booth in the first few steps of a route. Going to get to more film breakdown in a second. First, I want to thank the sponsor. It is Manscaped. It's the Lawnmower 3.0. This one is mine. Works great. Let me tell you about it. Okay, yeah, it's body to talk about below-the-belt grooming, but before you dismiss the idea, I say ask your partner if they think it's cool to be a hairy wildebeest down there. It's 2020. Nobody says you got to be clean-shaven, but a little maintenance. The Lawnmower 3.0 has Manscaped best design yet. You will never suffer a nick or a cut, which is mandatory, obviously, and you don't want to use the same trimmer that you use on your face. Manscaped also has all sorts of products, so you look and smell good all over. I really do use the lawnmower. And we can get you 20% off right now. Go to manscaped.com, use the code HarrisTube. Don't laugh, ask your partner. They would probably appreciate it if it wasn't kind of a jungle down there. Plus, it's an awesome way to keep the channel around and existing. So thank you to Manscaped. Okay, so now on that podcast I mentioned that I do 5 times a week, I promised that I would take a look at Le'Veon Bell's first week with the Chiefs, and that's what we're going to do next. So the snap count for the Chiefs running back Sunday against the Broncos was 17 for Bell, 26 for Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and then 9 for DeAndre Washington in the fourth quarter because it was a blowout. I figured we'd just run through some of Bell's plays and see how they used him. First carry of his Chiefs career, outside zone, a staple of the Kansas City rushing attack, a staple of what's made Bell great in the past. That is a wall to run behind, and then zip, there's a little quickness there to not go around the left edge to pick that last remaining hole. It's a lot of room to get going, no question, but then for sure, the requisite vision from Bell to see the lane, and the cut was decent. Okay, now inside zone, and there's probably just nothing here. Bell can't cut back left or right because defenders are beating their blocks, and he's pretty much surrounded, so he pushes straight ahead, and he gets tackled. More inside zone here, and this one I didn't like as much. I guess the problem winds up being that number 73 there for the Chiefs doesn't finish his block, so Bell gets surprised by Malik Reed, the Broncos tackler, flashing right in front of him. I mean, I guess maybe it's not enough time for evasive action. I think there are backs in the league who would have seen it and would have been able to do something here. Outside zone again. This one, just be a runner, don't fall down. Chiefs give him a huge lane. I mean, he cuts it back. That's good. I just think any running back in the NFL would have seen that yawning chasm, and he takes it for 16 yards. We're happy to have it. I don't know if it really tells us anything about him. Inside zone again. You can see him try and feel and think his way through a play that's pretty well defended. You like that he can adjust. He feels the guy to his left. He tries to move right. He tries to slink through. There was probably nothing there. And pretty much the same thing here. Probably even prime Le'Veon wouldn't have gotten much done here, but he's moving his feet. You can see he's not gravy booted just yet. He's pressing to find a hole, avoiding the unblocked man to his right. And actually, that was it. We showed you all of it, all 6 touches. And here was Edwards-Helaire, who certainly had the run of the day for Kansas City. I love him seeing that first hole occupied. He bounces left. That one's kind of occupied too, and he's one-on-one against Kareem Jackson, number 22, and gives him the dead leg to create a glancing contact and then just powers through a bunch of arm tackles to get in. That's a really good run. But let's not say it was all perfect for CEH because, oh my heavens, if the young man could catch, he would have given you 2 touchdowns. I have Edwards-Helaire as a must-start top 10 option this week, but he had 9 touches. Le'Veon had 6. And just a reminder who the Chiefs are playing. I know we joke about revenge games sometimes, but man, if ever you would imagine Bell will plead with his new coaches to torment his old coaches. I have CEH top 10. I have Bell number 20. And you'd be taking a risk to use him because the workload definitely not guaranteed. He might not exactly be old Le'Veon either. I also don't think he's shown that he's cooked, and I think he'll be on the warpath. Okay, let's just show you a few more things from the Week 7 film I thought you should see. Why do we say that the Cowboys defense is probably the worst in the league right now? I don't think it's personnel necessarily. It's more just, I don't even know mentally what those guys are doing out there. If your corner, Trayvon Diggs, covering Terry McLaurin, listen, nice goal to care about run support, but play action can't make you just leave your guy, give up. Terry McLaurin's a really good player. He's running at you. He's your first responsibility. Is that even a good play action fake? That is horrible defense. On this Antonio Gibson run, in the red zone from the 12-yard line, I want you to tell me if he's even touched. How does a running back on a play like that close to the goal line, never even get touched until he's basically in the end zone? It's embarrassing. There are embarrassing plays all over the film. Mike Nolan is a dead man walking. The defensive coordinator of the Eagles in these ranks that you've been seeing have a hell of a matchup on Sunday night. Hey, Nelson Agholor certainly put up numbers against Tampa in Week 7, and this catch falling into the end zone that's a very good catch. Flashing hands that let's just say we don't always see from Nelson Agholor. It's tough for me to overcome the bad mojo that emanates off poor Agholor after years of disappointment in Philly, but he has scored 4 touchdowns. He made this grab on a deep ball that had the announcers in this game oohing and eyeing. And I do have Agholor ranked number 45 among receivers for the week. He's got some ceiling to him, but later in the game on Sunday, he showed you why he also has the floor to disappear, to get in a coach's doghouse at any moment. As I said on the podcast, there's a reason Agholor became a meme for a dude catching a baby out of a burning building. He has real hands troubles. This last one's more of probably a good defensive play than a drop, but still, I'd like to see him catch it. But yes, sure, we started showing you Davante Adams off the top of today's show, dropping the ball as a young kid, and look how he turned out. But he was also 22 at the time, and Agholor's 27, 6 years in the league. I think I need him to prove it a little bit longer. And before we go, this was adorable. I don't know, maybe you saw it on the highlight reels. I don't watch a lot of highlight reels. Just funny that as Teddy Bridgewater runs out of bounds, look where he sits between Drew Brees and Taysom Hill. It was sweet. And this was sweet. Thank you very much for watching. Again, please subscribe. Just click the little bell. #EmbarrassHarris. We're looking for... Hey, down in the comments, let us know what you think we should do on the channel once we hit 35,000, because we'll probably do something that's going to make me look silly, so we might as well take your suggestions too. Make sure you keep checking in on the ranks. HarrisFootball.com is where my updated ranks are all week, all the way through till Sunday and even Monday, so please check out those ranks. And also Manscaped, thank you for sponsoring. Remember, go to manscaped.com, use that promo code HarrisTube. That's how this channel exists. If you support the sponsors, we will keep existing, and if not, we won't. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see ya. Thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please smash that like button, write a comment, tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on, and of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.